Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You have joined us for A Queen's Roundtable Leadership Symposium, and I am your host, Dr. Jacqueline Kaba Harrison. I still have to get used to throwing that doctor part on there. But I am super excited. We have been rocking and rolling since yesterday. Yesterday, we had an awesome lineup. It was an all-day workshop, and it was just wonderful. We got so much support and some great feedback. We had a good time. We made some connections. We networked, and it was great. And we are back again. So today is the lineup of all of the keynote speakers, as well as we have some entertainment. So next up with you is going to be Hustle with Toy. But before we do that, again, just want to let you know, thank you so much again. And your support, your continued support is so much appreciated for this symposium that I do in March and September of every year. This particular one is titled Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. And it actually started from a book collaboration. A book collaboration that we actually launched September of 2022. Again, titled Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within, acknowledging the innate leadership abilities of African American women. It was myself as the visionary author, and I had several other authors that participated in the project that were totally awesome. So if you have not got a copy of that book, go ahead to barnesandnoble.com or either to amazon.com and get your copy. All right, so I hope you are standing up, ready to go. You got on something that you can move with, or move freely in. Have you some water. Get ready. I'm going to introduce and bring to the virtual stage Hustle with Toy. So get started and get ready. I'm so excited. Have a good time, y'all. Movement is important. All right, so I will see you guys I'll see you again once she finishes. Let's bring her to the virtual stage.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Well, they are ready for you. They're ready to go. So
Great. I'm ready to move. I got some good songs for y'all today. I'm Toy, Hustle with Toy. I'm going to teach you guys some hustle today. My ladies, my gentlemen, let's get to moving. Let's get going. We're going to have a little fun today. The way that I do my classes is when I teach, I will show you the full hustle that we'll be doing. I'll break down the steps for you, and then we'll do it all together. So we're going to do two hustles today. The first one is going to be Trouble by Iggy Azalea. I'm going to run it through just so you guys can see it. And because you're at home, you're not with me personally, I'm going to turn my back to you so that way you can get the feel of the steps, whether we're starting with our right or we're starting with our left. So let's have some fun. I'm going to start out with the song for you. And this one is Trouble by Iggy Azalea. All right, so I'm starting from this way so you can see which way I'm starting with my right over left, cross it over, right. I should have known you, baby, and the baby and the tattoos. Once guys on the roof for them, but I'm on side trying to figure out you. Do the way though, but they do it guy. Do the guy, and the little talk about me for a good time. Next year, this time. So that's the whole hustle right there. That's how I like to call our warm-up muscle. Right. So let's break those steps down for you. So we're going to start with this right leg over the left. You're going to cross over 1, 2, right, and left, right, left. So again, we're crossing over that right foot over the left. We're going to go right, and left, right. All right, so then we're going to walk it up after that. We're going to take 4 steps up. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we went right, left. We're going to take it out right, out left. All right, so let's go over that step. So we're going to start with that right crossover. And 5, 6, 7, and 8. So right, left, and left. Right. We're walking up and 1, 2, 3, 4, right. out, left, okay? So that's the first part of the hustle. So after we walk it up, you're gonna walk it up 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, out, right? Out, left. We're gonna take it back 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, out, right, out, left. All right. So after we take it back, we're gonna take it out right, out left. We're gonna do what we call a pivot step. So we're taking our right foot, we're gonna step it up, bring it back, and we're gonna do a quarter right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So again, we walked it up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out right, out left, and take it back. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out right, out left. We're gonna step it up. Step forward, step back, pivot 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when we turn with that left shoulder over to the left wall. Okay, so the wall that is left to you, that's where we're turning. And we're starting the whole hustle all over again. So again, we're gonna walk it through, and then we'll play the song. So I step up with my right foot over the left and right, left, right, left, right, and left, right, left, right, left. Walk up 4, 2, 3, and 4. Out right, out left. Take it back. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out right, out left. We're gonna step it forward, step forward, step back, pivot, turn. 1, 2, 3, and 4 from the top. 1, 2, 3, left. 1, 2, 3. Walk it up. Out right, out left. We're gonna take it back 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out right, out left. Step it forward, take it back. Quarter turn, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so we're gonna go all the way through. Let's see how you feel with this. So again, it's Trouble by Iggy. We're gonna start from the top, and I'll follow up the steps for you. So join on here with me. I'll count us in. I'll tell you when we start. All right. We start with a rock. Y'all ready? And 5, 6. Cross it over to the right. To the left, right. From the bed, left, right, left. Walk it up. All right. Out left. And then take it back forward and walk through the window. All right. Left. Step forward. Step back for a rock. 2 and 4. Walk up. Right, left, right, left. Walk it up. And all right, out left. Take it back forward and walk. All right, out left. Rock it up 1. Take it back towards turn and walk. From the top, right over. Right, left, right, and over. Down, walk up 4, 2, 3, and 4. Out left. Take it back down. All right, out left. Rock it forward. Take it back towards turn and walk. 2, 3, 4. Right over. Left. Walk it up 4, 2, 3, and 4. Out left. Take it back forward. All right, out left. Rock it up. Back towards turn and walk. 2, 3, and 4. Cross over. Right, left, right, left, forward. Left, right, left. Take it up. All right, out left. Take it back. All right, out left. Hold on, rock it up, down. So back towards turn and walk. On the top, right over. Right foot, left, right, left, walk it up. All right, out left. All right, out left. Rock it up. Back towards turn and walk. From the top down, right over. I should have known you. On left. Walk it up 4. All right, out left. So take it back 4. All right, out left. Rock it up. Rock it up. Turn and walk. On the top, right over. Right, left, right. Left, right, left. Walk it up. All right, out left. All right, out left. And that is all right. So the next hustle we are going to do is called When I See You by Fantasia. So this one is one of our newer hustles. And I just simplified the end just a little bit for you. So again, this one is Fantasia. When I See You. So I'm gonna walk it through for you. I'm gonna do the whole hustle. Then I'll break the steps down and then we'll do it all together. So that way you can see. And again, I'll start from the back so you can kind of see if I'm starting with my right or if I'm starting with my left. All right? So here we go. When I see you. So I'm going to start with my right, out, and I'm going to start with my left, out. All right? And 5, 6, 7, and 8, out, right. Just chop, chop, turn, chop, chop, half turn. Right, left, and left, right. Then we're going to 4 count. And we'll start over. All right, so let's break this step down for you for this hustle. All right, so we're starting with that right foot. So we're going to take it out, in, out, in, out. So it's going to look like out, right, in, out, in, out, in. All right, so it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go with the left foot. We're going to go out, in, out, in, out, in. So again, that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's try it together with the right and then the left. And 5, 6, 7, and 8, out, right, in, out, in, left, in, out, in. All right. So from there, we are going to do what we call a cha-cha. So you're going to do that cha-cha with that right foot. You're going to do a half turn. So you're doing right, half, left, right, half. So that's our cha-cha. So again, that cha-cha is cha-cha, half turn, cha-cha, half turn. So it's going to look like out, right, left, right, and left, right, left, and cha-cha, half turn, cha-cha, half turn. All right, so that's the first half of the hustle. Now, after we do our half turn on that second left, we're going to do a kick out. We're going to tap with that right and left, right, left. Then you're going to do a slide with the right. Then you're going to kick out with the left and the right, and left, right, slide with the left. So it's going to look like that last cha-cha, cha-cha, turn, and kick, and slide, kick, and slide. All right? So let's put that together. Let's do that first half, and then we'll put the end to it. So we're going to start with the right, going out, and 5, 6, 7, and 8, out, right, in, out, and left, in, out, in, cha-cha with the right, half turn on your left, cha-cha on the left, half turn with the right, right, left, and slide with the right, left, right, and slide with the left. All right? Now, the last part of the hustle, after you do that slide, we're going to do a crossover. So if anybody knows the Tamia hustle, it's kind of like that Tamia hustle, but I said I'm going to simplify it for you. So since I don't have your person, I'll make it just a little easier. So we're going to, after we do our left slide, we're going to cross this right leg over. We're going to cross over our left, cross over the left, out right. All right? So we just did that last slide, and we crossed 1 and 2. All right? So then we're going to take this right leg after we take that out, and we're going to tap it around. So again, like I said, with that spin hustle, we are doing a 3/4 turn. Your 3/4 turn is whatever wall that is on your left hand, your arm, that's the wall that you're turning to. So we're going to tap it around till we get to that wall, all right? So that left arm. So it's going to be a slide, and we'll go left and right. Tap 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I'm at the wall where my left arm was, all right? So again, let's walk it through. And we're going to start with the and out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Cha-cha with the right, cha-cha, half turn, cha-cha, half turn. Kick it out, and 1, 2, slide right. 1, 2, slide left, cross it over, and 1. And 2, tap it out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so let's try this hustle out. Okay, so again, this is When I See You by Fantasia, and I'll count us in. And I'm gonna start on this back wall, so you can see how we're starting off with that right foot. We are out with the right, out with the left, all right? 5, 6, and 5. 6, out right and right. 2, out left. Cha-cha on the right. Half turn. Cha-cha, half turn. And right. Left side. Left, right, and side. Cross over. Tap down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Out and left. Out and cha-cha, half turn. Cha-cha, half turn. Get out and 1. Slide with the right, left, slide with the left. Cross it over, tap it out, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, out right. Out left, cha cha right, half turn, cha cha left, half turn. Get out, and 1. And slide, left, and slide. Out left, out right, from the top. Right, left, and left. Cha-cha, half turn. Cha-cha, half turn. And 1. Slide, kick, slide, out right. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Left. Cha-cha on the right. Half turn. Cha-cha, half turn. Take it out. Take it left. Out left. Out right. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out right. Out left. Cha-cha. Half turn. And take it out. And slide. And left. Slide. Out right. For 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out right. Out left. Cha-cha. Half turn. And cha-cha. Get out and 1. Out right. Slide left. Out left. Out right. For 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out right. Out left. Cha-cha. Cha-cha. Get out and 1. Slide. Take left. Slide. Out left. Out right. For 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out right. Cha-cha, half turn. Cha-cha, half turn. Kick right. Slide. Kick left. And slide. Out left. Out right. For 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that is Fantasia, When I See You. All right. So we got enough time for maybe one more hustle. So we're just going to do it. I usually do my warm-up hustle in some of my classes. So let's see. So this one is the Jerusalem. I'm gonna show it to you. Break the stuff down. I'll pop it on Facebook. So we're gonna start with our left. That's gonna be okay, so Jerusalem, like I said, we start with that left. We got that Jamaican feel to it. So we're gonna get that movement going a little bit to end this out. All right. So with that left, we're gonna count it 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're gonna flip it to the right with a little half. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're gonna rotate it to the left and right. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So again, we started out with that left foot. I'll face you. Then we're gonna take it over to the right, and then we're gonna switch it up. And 5, 6, 7, and 8 left. 1, 2, 3, and 4 right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Switch left, right, left, and right. Okay. So from there, we're going to switch it up, and then we're going to do a quarter turn to our right. So after we tap 1, 2, 3, and 4, we're going to do a and 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap. All right, so that hop is called an and 1. So again, we take it from that left, left, and right. Your and 1 is going to be and 1. So you tap them with the right, crossing over with the left. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap. We're going to take it over to the left. And 1, 2, 3, tap, back, 1, 2, 3, and tap. Okay? Now from there, we're basically starting the whole hustle over. So again, we did our left, right, opposite. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. We did an and 1, and 1. So that's going to turn us over to that right wall. Okay? So we're going to do and 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap. We're going to take it over to the left. And 1, 2, 3, and tap. Now we're going to take it back. And 1, 2, 3, and tap. When I say we're starting over, we're just doing that left foot again with the 4 tap. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to switch it. And left, and right. Your and 1, so you're going to turn to that next wall. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap with the left to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap with the right. Back 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to tap it 4 times with the left. Left. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so let's do it all together. And I'm going to start from the back wall so you can see. So again, we're going to start with that left foot. I'll punch you in. A little fast hustle. Kind of get that movement going. Right? And 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and tap. Right 4, push it out, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap. Take that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, switch. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap. 3, 4, and tap. 3, 4, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch it out. Crossover. 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap. And tap. Take it back there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 and 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4 and tap. And tap. Take it back there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Switch it out. And 1. And tap. 2, 3, 4 and tap. 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch it. 1, 2. Taco. 3, 4 and tap. And tap. Tap 4. Tap 4. Switch it. And walk off. And tap. And tap. Take it back. Tap on the right. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4 and tap. 2, 3, 4 and tap. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Switch. Stop. Tap. Tap. Take it back. Tap 4. Tap 4. Switch 4. And 1. And tap. Tap 4. On the right, tap 4. Switch it up. And 1, 3, 4, and tap. 2, 3, 4, and tap. 3, 4, tap 4. Tap 4. Switch it out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap. 2, 3, 4, and tap. 2, 3, 4, and 1. And 1. Switch it out. And 1. Tap. Tap it out. Tap 4. Right 4. Switch. And that is the end of Jerusalem. Thank you for this time, Jackie. I enjoyed everybody. I enjoyed being here. You can catch me on Instagram at hustlewithtoy83. I do have a Monday and Wednesday class. My Monday class is right now we're at Premier and Social Event Center. It's at 24300 South Road, Suite 103. And I also have a Wednesday class. Oh, sorry, my Monday classes are from 6 to 7. And on Wednesday, I have a class at High Hair Designer Studio at 21750 West 11 Mile Road. That class is from 7 to 8:30. Come join me. Follow my page on Instagram, or you can also follow me on Facebook. So I heal, find out all my classes and events, and I enjoy you all. Be blessed.
Thank you so much, Toy. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was over here dancing in my seat. I love Trouble. I love Jerusalem. The other one I'm familiar with, but I don't know that one off the top of my head. But that was a lot of fun. And thank you so much for joining us. And please support her. She's right here in the Metro Detroit area. So if you're in the Metro Detroit area as well, please go and check her out and support.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and very nice meeting you.
Thank you. Have a great one.
Okay, you too. Woo! All right, that was so awesome. Oh wow, that was great. Like I said, I was over here dancing in my seat. Hustle it's a lot of fun. Oops, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Let me just take this part off here. I just noticed something. Oh, but I don't know if I could. Oh, yes, here we go. So I can remove this. Remove that for now. So yeah, hustling is so much fun. I've been hustling now since I've been back here in Detroit since, oh wow, maybe at least the last 4 years. And it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to work out, and just fellowship. I met so many cool people. And like I said, it's just a lot of fun, the music, the people, and it goes all the way from beginners to intermediate to advanced. So, depending on your level, but it's just a lot of fun. So that's something that I do as well. That's why I wanted to bring that to you. And she is a person that is local here in the Metro Detroit area. So, go ahead and check her out whenever you have an opportunity. And I think she says she's on Facebook too, I believe. Yeah, I believe she's on Facebook. And I would think it's under Hustle with Toy. I was just gonna try to look it up real quick because I know when she said it, it kind of went out a little bit. And I want to make sure that you guys are able to connect with her. I'm just looking it up real quick. Oh, somehow I put in Hustle with Joy instead of Toy. Okay, let's see. Yes. So she's on Facebook under Hustle with Toy. Okay. So she's on Facebook under Hustle with Toy. And yeah, so look her up that way. You can get the specific address and so forth, a phone number in case you need to follow up with her. So, again, I'm your host, Dr. Jacqueline Kaba Harrison. And we still have a couple of other individuals that are going to be coming up doing keynote presentations, definitely giving you tips and tools to up your leadership game. So this particular symposium is Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. The movement itself started from a book that was launched last year. It was my first anthology, and it was titled Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. And some of the co-authors participated in this actual symposium as well. So this is just, it initially started off as a book anthology and turned into a movement. So, join us. If you have not gotten your copy of the book, go to Amazon.com and or BarnesandNoble.com and get your copy of the book. Again, it is myself and several other co-authors basically telling our stories and talking about what leadership means to us and how we initially began to see ourselves as leaders and how we have nurtured our leadership abilities. So we give you our backdrop, and we also give you different tips and tools to be able to level up your leadership game. And also, what's also nice about the book is we have quotes, whether it be from our mothers, grandmothers, aunts, or other historical Black women, whether it be African or African American. I think the primary is African American women that have that were leaders. So it's nicely. There's quotes nicely throughout the entire book that represent the innate leadership abilities of African American women. So grab your copy if you have not already. So I have one more selection. Her name is Harriet, and she is a spoken word artist as well as a singer. So I'm going to play her selection for you. And then following that, we're going to have Dr. Lovella. And then following her, we're going to have Dr. Carmela. And again, they're going to be giving you keynote presentations that's going to give you tangible tips and tools to be able to become a more effective leader. Okay, so give me one moment here. Okay, so give it a couple of seconds and it will start momentarily, okay? Just have to find it. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go.
I am one of so many little chocolate girls who, though very shy, found her outside voice through the divine syncopation of words and rhythm. I'm one of so many little chocolate girls whose mind, body, and spirit celebrates that now. Only God has the authority to define my true identity. Beyond what man says, God's plan tells me to do what only I can. Moving in purpose, guided by the one who knew my path way before I ever knew his son. To become uniquely me, that's what I'm designed to be. And leave the cookie cutting to the bakery. I'm a king's kin, drinking from his grace cup. And what flows through me is royal blood. I'm not making this up. My personality, temperament, and the introvert, all surrendered, needing only a grain of mustard seed faith to do his work. Yeah, sometimes I get frustrated, but greater is he who is strong in those areas of weakness the enemy hopes are liabilities. Daily choosing spirit over flesh to keep it together. Transforming me even now to become one of his gospel super spreaders. Power, love, and a sound mind are the foundations of my actions, with an insatiable thirst for more of him and to show more compassion. I am an instrument divinely favored, obedient to serve his son, my Savior. Yesterday was a gift that God endowed. I can't even imagine what tomorrow He'll allow. So why not give Him your all in all right now, right now. There's no better time, no better place to give Him your better than best than now. Give Him your holy, 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 holy best.
Maybe you feel entitled, 'cause this should have never, ever happened to you. And maybe you've tried to let it go, but letting go just ain't never easy to do. And maybe you feel you'll end up with another broken heart, trying to face something that seems way too hard. But it's too hard to hold on to all of the pain, and it's too hard to relive it over and over again. It's too hard when the memories have control over you. Some say it's too hard to forget. I say it's too hard not to. It's too hard not to. It's too hard not to. Maybe you're trying to handle losing someone that you thought would be there. And maybe you're feeling anxious, 'cause it left you lonely, confused, and so scared. And maybe you feel you'll end up with another broken heart, trying to face something that seems way too hard. But it's too hard to hold on to all of the pain, and it's too hard to relive it over and over again. It's too hard when the memories have control over you. Some say it's too hard to forget. I say it's too hard not to. It's too hard not to. It's too hard. Something so senseless and some things so selfish try to come and tear your world apart. But someone so loving and someone so selfless will help you when you're ready to restart. It's too hard to hold on to all of the pain, and it's too hard to relive it over and over again. It's too hard when the memories have control over you. Some say it's too hard to forget. I say it's too hard not to. It's too hard not to. I say it's too hard not to. It's too hard not to. It's too hard not to forgive. Lord, help me to forgive, because it's too hard not to.
Oops, sorry about that. Just realized I was muted. Hello again. We're going to keep rocking and rolling. You have joined us for a Queen's Roundtable Leadership Symposium titled Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. This one focuses on celebrating the innate leadership abilities within African American women. If you have not grabbed your copy of the book, Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within, it was launched last September of 2022. If you have not grabbed your copy, go and visit Amazon and or barnesandnoble.com and grab your copy of the book. This book is specifically to help business owners up their leadership game. It actually provides tools and tips to help you become a better leader, right? And when we are entrepreneurs, oftentimes we may not even have a team, if you will, right? But we still have to lead ourselves, right? We still have to lead ourselves properly and to prepare for when we do or as we begin to grow our team. But it's all about becoming a more effective leader. Not to say that you're not already an effective leader, but there's always room for improvement, right? We all have strengths and then areas that we need to work on or areas that we need to, um, you know, do more professional development in order to be more effective in those particular areas, right? Because no one's perfect. So you are in the right place if you are an entrepreneur, you're a African American entrepreneur, and you are looking for continued personal development as well as skills to increase or become a more effective leader, then you are in the right place. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you can, as soon as I get ready to go live, whether it's for a symposium, a virtual symposium, or the Eight Queens Roundtable show, which happens every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will receive an alert and you are ready to go. That way you can be in the know and catch all of the upcoming, activities. So next up, I have another selection, and it is actually a young lady. Her company is called, let me see, the name of it is Dancing Without Sin. And her name is Stephanie. And I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so I'll just say Stephanie K. Okay. But you can find her on Facebook under that particular handle, which is Dancing Without Sin. So I'm going to play her selection in just a moment. And or maybe I'm not. One thing as a business owner, you have to be flexible, okay? Because you never know, things may change up. You may have things planned to go one particular way and they don't, right? So you still have to be flexible. So let me just check in with my next speaker to see if she is ready to go. And then that'll determine how we proceed from here. Just typing her message now. Okay. And based on that, if she's ready to go, I'll bring her up. If she's not ready to go, then we will play the selection. Okay, so she's ready to go. Okay. So again, I hope you enjoyed the entertainment. That is just kind of a way to break things up. And also mental health is important, right? Movement, things of that nature. We have to work hard and play hard. It's good to combine it because you can't be serious all the time, right? You need to get up and move some of the times and just to have some fun. So hope you enjoyed those two selections. So we're going to go ahead and move on with our keynote speaker lineup. I'm going to bring my next guest. Or shall I say my next? Oh, I don't know why she's not popping in. There she is. Our next keynote speaker. And she is going to, she's going to introduce herself in just a moment and let you know what her particular topic is. Let me just type her a quick message. She can get it. Okay. So she's going to deliver her keynote presentation. And let me see if I can remember the name. think it's leading innovation, I believe, but she will definitely let you know that. So again, if you are not, make sure you get to a quiet place, grab yourself a notebook and a pen, right? So you can jot some different things down. Again, all of this is to help you become a more effective leader. Okay. Again, like I said before, we have to lead ourselves first before we can lead anyone else, right? Lead our staff and the other individuals on our team. And these are all practical tips and tools for you to be able to do just that. Let me adjust my camera. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. Well, hello, Dr. Lovella. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I could hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. It's a bit of a delay, but it's okay because I'm going to go backstage and I'm going to let you, take it away, introduce yourself and your topic, and drop your gems. I'm ready. So welcome back. I know we've worked together before. You've been on the show, and hopefully this, will definitely continue to collaborate in the future. And you definitely bring a wealth of knowledge to the table, and especially in leadership. I mean, you have a wealth of knowledge anyway, but whenever it's something regarding leadership, you always come to mind. So I'm super excited to have you here with us with this symposium this time, titled Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. I'm gonna go ahead and zip it up. The floor is yours, and I will see you momentarily. All right, so you go ahead and take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Jacqueline, for the invite and to be able to speak to the heart of leaders on today. My name is Lovella Mogere, and welcome to a Queen's Roundtable Leadership Symposium. And I love the theme, realizing your potential. But as we are speaking as leaders, are speaking to the hearts of leaders, and for those that are on the scene and for those that are pioneering, I'm sure that each key speaker will be able to share not only a nugget, but we will be able to activate, unlock, and guide you in the right direction as a leader. Again, for those that are listening, get a friend, tell a friend, share the link if you can. Or if not, have pen and paper. And if you're watching this later on, please press #replay. And thank you for joining us on today. And my topic on today is innovative leadership. Innovative leadership. I am a leader of leaders. Probably one of my platforms is Leaders Who Lead Differently, the DNA of cultural innovation. And I am not only a leader of leaders, I am also a thought leader. I activate, I catapult, I push not only cultivate what's, when I said potentially there, but at the same time, bring out of dormancy at the front, preparing you based on aligning you with time, as you are the frequency or you are the voice of people. And I am excited about this segment on today. And our topic is innovative leaders. Innovative leaders are those who are able to think outside of the box and are not afraid to take risk. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Innovative leaders are those who are able to think outside of the box and are not afraid to take risk. And you might say, that sounds like me. That is me. That sounds like me. That's wiring. You are creative. You are creative to solve solutionists. You're a problem solver. You get a problem, and you have the ability to recognize and capitalize on opportunities. I'm going to say it again. You have the opportunity to recognize and capitalize on opportunities. You are open-minded, and you're able to recognize strengths and weakness in your team. I'm going to say again, you're able to recognize strength and weakness on your team. And not only that, but you have the ability to stir up, encourage, and push one through a difficult time or help one to difficult decision. You also take calculated risk in order to achieve success, okay? In order to achieve success. So we're talking today about innovative leaders. I may very well some innovative leaders
Matter of fact, you could very well be trying to figure out what type or kind of leader you are, what kind or type of leaders you are. So therefore, again, I'm raised up in ministry. So therefore, say leader in ministry. Now I'm transitioning yet into the marketplace. I'm transitioning into the marketplace. So that is the wiring for leadership there is different. Also, being a life coach and a traditional coach, again, the wiring there is different. So you may say, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a serial entrepreneur. So you might be one that wears many hats. So at this point, you only be trying to figure out your niche. You're learning your niche. You're learning what drives you, how you're wired, and you're tapping into the type of leader or the leader you are. You're typing into the leader as you are leading yet this next innovative stage, this economic yet stage, and you are not only when I said to have the frequency, but you are also the amplifier pioneering this next transition. Okay? So innovative leaders possess certain behaviors. They help them foster cultural creativity. Innovative leaders, we're talking about behavior patterns. You foster cultural creativity. You embrace change. Everybody can embrace change. Everybody can embrace change. You embrace change and you drive innovation. Everybody drive innovation. Some are waiting for one the same like mindset that has the same like wiring. But you not only embrace change, you're able to adapt, maneuver. You're able to adapt and maneuver. And so when it's coming, you're not being pressured or pressurized. You're able to bounce back and move with the fluidity, move with the momentum. You become the algorithm. You become the momentum. You pace. You are the heartbeat. You are the pulse. And you're not letting nothing stop you while you are driving. So you become tunnel vision, okay? So you drive innovation. You drive innovation within your organization, within your team, within your business. And not only that being your key behavior or your key behavioral points, but your also, when I say find every moment, even in hardship, you find every moment become innovative or creative, producing results. Okay, producing results. And I'm going to tap into your thinking just a little bit. Not only are you the visionary, but you have crystal vision for the future. You know what you want in the next 3 to 5 years, in the next 10 to 15 years, in the next 2 years. You're clear. And in regards to your vision, you are the visionary. You know what you want. You know what you're driving for. You know what you're striving for. You're able to, again, because you're open-minded, you're able to make adjustments. And at the same time, you're able to shift and make transition. And you're able to implement new strategies. Okay. So not only are you the visionary of your vision, the visionary of your vision or of business or businesses. Okay, you know how to articulate the vision. You know how to articulate the vision. And for those that are just now starting as being an entrepreneur or a leader, do you know how to articulate the vision? You know how to express the vision? Are you the pulse or heartbeat of the vision? Well, if not, you'll have to work on that to be able to articulate vision, because it's hard to have a team build or expand and walk in the parameters of the vision or the space or dimension of the vision. I'm gonna put this phases of your vision. If you're not able to articulate the vision to your team or your teammates, okay? You think out of the box. You let nothing stop you, hinder you, close you in, or capsize you. Okay, you think out of the box. You challenge. You're the challenge. You accept challenges. You challenge the status quo. They tell you can't do it. You're gonna make a way. You're gonna prove to them that it can be done. You challenge the status quo, and you inspire others. Just your energy, the way you think, the way you're wired, your mental capacity, inspires, and with your with your forward thinking ideas, okay? With your forward thinking ideas. And I have those connected to you are trying to figure out, how do you think like that? Why are you wired like that? And how have you, or how are you able to get those downloads, we call it brain hack. Okay, whenever others are sleeping, you're up. and you can't sleep because you continually have ideas that's downloading or brain hacking you. And when I say brain hacking, taking over your mind, so you're constantly writing or recording or typing, visioning the results. You're constantly getting brain hacks of revelation, or and I say, or insight into the vision or the scope of your vision as you are now building or expanding, or you are in a phase of your business or of your organization or of the vision, okay, of ministry, as it could say, well, be ministry. And so you don't know how to turn that off. It's hard to turn off. It's hard to turn off that wiring, okay? So you have an open-mindedness. You're talking about behavioral traits. You have an open-mindedness and you're open to new ideas and perspective. Okay. No, it doesn't offend you. Someone brings up something. What about this? What about that? You're open to it. Okay. You're actively seeking input. Again, you're not closed-minded. You're not insecure. We're talking about leadership. We're talking about entrepreneur, also open-minded. And you're always seeking input from teammates on different levels, on different intellectual levels, on different emotional levels, a different mindset or mind, when I said mind scope, or when I said dimensional, is in a sense of height, depth, how wide. You always seek intelligence based to add, contribute to your vision. You're always seeking geniuses to be able to, and I said the thoughts of it, to be able to add, contribute, expand yet the vision. You create an environment for diverse opinion, not only at home, but also in the job site, in your business, or in ministry. You create, if you will, an atmosphere that does or still cultivate, impregnate, like a birthing chamber, if you will, that will stir creativity by way of opinions. You welcome them, you foster these ideas. You look for moments or areas that would cultivate mental geniuses. We call it intelligentsia. You look for creative moments or spaces to cultivate, to lean on, call it mind bending, cultivate, engineering thoughts to be able to expand, to be able to grow, to be able to be innovative. So there's nothing or no one lacking. Nothing or no one lacking. And you are a risk taker, and you not only mind taking risk, but you're willing to take calculated risk. You encourage your team to do the same. You're not timid. You're not afraid. You know, we wouldn't know unless we try. We wouldn't know unless you try. Does that sound like you? You wouldn't know unless you try. I know I take calculated all the time, and everybody, and I had to learn as a leader. I've taken people in places and spaces based on their potential. And I had to learn, due to broken heart, that though they have the verbiage and the linguistics and the vernacular, and they have these very, very creative mind and thoughts, I was taking capacities into a place that they were not ready for based off of potential. They wasn't ready to be stretched or exercise those skilled muscles, if you will, because I was taking potential into some spaces. So now I had to learn not only to be able to listen, but to also tap into the emotional capacity, the mental capacity, to be able to see if they have the potency to go into these places where we're taking calculated risk. Okay? And it's in those places that are taking risk. You're now exercising your skill muscles, and now you're able to see how far you could go, how much you could expand. You're testing your skill set. You're better testing your mind. Now you know how far you could go, how wide you could go, how deep you could go, in regards to your expanding your business, ministry, or even launching your business. You could very well be an educator, starting a school, a life coaching event. You know how far you could go. We're constantly testing the limits. We're constantly testing the limits. You create an environment for a learning opportunity. You're always in school, you're always learning something, you're always testing your mind. And I used to always say, I will never be finished with school. Oh my God, here we go again. I will always be and continue in education. Does that sound like you? And for a minute, I'm like, oh my gosh, oh, I got to do this. And I don't know about you. Sometimes I'm in like 5 courses at one point. Again, exercising the mental capacity, stretching it. And sometimes those courses supposed to take a year. I'm knocking it out in 3 months, 6 months. Again, because I have to have enough. Just have to sound like you. Always in a space or place learning something, okay? Number 4, empowerment. You empower others. Not only do you empower others, you create environment where others are empowering others. You empower your employees, you provide them with opportunities for growth. And also you give them or create an environment for them to be able to make decisions, and be
Realizing Your Potential LLC presents Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. This anthology brings together women that have overcome hardships in their lives and have managed not only to survive, but thrive. Their stories focus on resiliency, adaptability, and strength, acknowledging the innate strength and leadership qualities in African American women. Realizing Your Potential LLC presents Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. This anthology brings together women that have overcome hardships in their lives and have managed not only to survive, but thrive. Their stories focus on resiliency, adaptability, and strength, acknowledging the innate strength and leadership qualities in African American women.
Was muted again. So as you all can see, we had some technical difficulties. She is attempting to log back in. She hasn't logged back in as of yet. So sorry about that. Sometimes, you never know what's going to happen. Technology can be our best friend at one moment, and then at the next, we're having some trouble. So, um, hopefully, she'll be able to join us again shortly, and we can move forward from there. So, again, I'm your host, Dr. Jacqueline Kaba Harrison, and you have joined us for a Queen's Roundtable Leadership Symposium, which happens twice a year in March and September. And the one that we're doing now is focused around leadership, African American women and leadership. So if you know that as a business owner, you want practical tips and tools to be able to step up your leadership game, then you are in the right spot. All right. Dr. Lovella was actually her presentation, her keynote presentation is the title of it is Leading Innovation. So she's talking about that, and she's trying to get set up now in the backstage, so I can go ahead and bring her back in so she can finish. And let's see if she's ready. All right, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I wasn't sure if you were ready. Are you ready to start back in?
Yes, I just realized my screen was frozen and I was okay. So, yes, I'm ready to go back in.
Okay, your volume's a little low though.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we'll go ahead and continue.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. And I do apologize. My screen was frozen and I was going ahead. That's what we do as leaders. We keep going. And I know I touched on the visionary as a leader, innovative leaders. You are a visionary. Your vision is clear, or you work on it being crystal clear. You're able to articulate it to others, to your team, also to those that are interested in partnering with you and also working with you. You're able to express, articulate, get your vision. And I'm hoping that you could articulate your vision. If not, work on it. Work on it. Because when you are able to articulate your vision, you're passionate about your vision, they're able to hear the pulse of your vision. Because too many times we have those that have vision and they're not able to articulate yet their vision. And also, innovative leaders are open minded, they're open to new ideas. They're always seeking out ideas or open opportunities to be able to level up, expand, grow. And also, their ears are even inclined to hear from their teammates in regards to, and I said from their teammates and those connected to them, and diverse opinions to help one grow. They foster or create environments where they're able to have creative moments, or like you're in the hot seat, if you will, bringing forth, birthing forth, and speaking forth um, creative ideas. Nothing is too crazy, nothing is too wild, because the more you're in that atmosphere that's conducive to what you're carrying, you are your creative juices are flowing, you're tapping into your genius. And so innovative leaders create spaces or bubble, if you will, environments like that, if you will. They are risk takers. Innovators are risk takers. They're willing to take calculated risk, and also hoping that that's who's on their team are able to take calculated risk. I also mentioned earlier that I know I was one, again, was able to take those that have potential into some spaces, and realizing though they had the vernacular, and they were able to have sight and insight, hindsight. Again, I was taking potential into some spaces that they didn't have the mental or the emotional capacity to carry. Why? I was hearing or listening to the intelligence, but I missed the emotional intelligence. hear me and hear me well. They might have the mental capacity, but do they have the emotional capacity, the emotional intelligence? So they are ready by way of vernacular, verbiage, linguistics, but do they have the capacity to carry the weight or the responsibility of that assignment, of that vision, of that new? You're launching a life coaching a business, you're launching a school, and so with your team, be able to hear and hear well. Again, they might have the linguistics, the language, if you will, the vernacular, but do they have the emotional intelligence? So while you're doing that, you have to be able to beta test to see who is a risk taker. And I had to learn. I was willing to drive it. I had to learn the hard way again. Everybody says, yes, 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 let's do it. And when it was time to drive and go to the next, and here it is, I'm doing it alone. Just because they said, yes, yes, let's do it, that don't mean that they're ready to do it right then and there. Okay? I didn't have to rehearse or go back and forth in my mind to know if I wanted to go forward. Some people need to do that, go back and forth in their mind, rehearse. Am I doing the right thing? They're taking again, going back and forth in their mind. So I had to learn, okay, and be as leaders, be able to hear that even though you're beta testing and you're able to share parts of the vision, there are parts of the vision that you're not going to be able to share because you're the one that's going into the deep. You're the one that's taking higher heights. You're the one that's going the extra mile because then that's how you know who's ready to go with you. Because when you start going the extra mile, and that's how you're able to beta test to see who's with you. Okay, and so an innovative leader empowers their teammates, they empower their coworkers, they empower employees, and they trust their teammates or also the employees. They trust what their not only their words, but at the same time, they're able to encourage and push other employees or teammates to be able to burst, to be able to work, or and not only do they work and they contribute, but they also allow them, hey, to take ownership of your work. Hey, you did this. You did an awesome job. Take ownership of your work. Giving them the credit. You did this. And again, it gives them a sense of ability of ownership and taking accountability. Okay, taking accountability. So you foster, create moments like that. And in doing so, an innovative learner is continually in school, continuously, continuing education. I mentioned this earlier. Sometimes I'm taking 6 courses, could take about a year, but I'm finishing it in about 3 to 6 months. Does that sound like you? You will forever be in the school, learning something, learning what's trending, staying up to date, learning developments, the organization development. What is it going to cause? What is it that's going to help by way of tools to be able to give your business, if you will, your organization, the legs and the arms? What will strengthen the longevity of your business? What tools, what resources will strengthen the longevity, will add to the legacy, would add to the resources? Again, as you are now trending, leading in this industry, what will help your business grow? So you're always looking for ways to add, to cultivate, to nurture, to bend, if you will, because you yourself is bending, testing the strength, the longevity, as to how long your business is going to last. Okay, so again, you continuously stay in school. You're always learning. I had this conversation last night, and she was like, "Well, I stay up to date, and everybody's not ready, and everybody's not ready." And I start asking questions. I said, "Is your business ready to take?" The value of the dollar is, changing. Is your business ready to take bitcoins? Da, da, da. No, I just thought it was a fad. Well, you said that you're up to date with everything. So, how is the flow of your currency going to affect your business? Well, how do you think the longevity? How long do you think this is going to last? I started asking her some hard questions, and she was like, I didn't thought to think about that. I thought it was a fad, but you just said that you're up to date. So what are you up to date with? So I know for me, I know years ago I had to change. I heard change the currency in your PayPal. Have you changed the currency from yen to US to what's the other Bitcoin, whatever, to be able to receive in your bank account? But as leader, what I'm saying is that not only are you changing or updating the currency, what about your resources as we are adjusting in the economy, as we are adjusting by way of skill set. Now, full throttle into AI. How are you adjusting? Will your business last? Will it be struggling? Will you still be trending? So you're always looking for innovative and creative ways for your business, for your school to grow. You will be the one to test your industry. Otherwise, your customers will be able to test your industry. Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have this? And that's how you're able to test in longevity. Will you be able to last? Will you be trending when it comes to your business? Now, adaptability. In order for you to embrace change, you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to maneuver. Are you a leader that's stuck in your ways? Are you able to, when I said bend to adjust, do you create, or is your environment adaptable where you can receive or accept change? When you get that blow, or is it that pressure comes, would it hit you so hard to the point where it knocks you out, or will you be able to bounce back or bend back? What is your environment like? Are you able to adjust or embrace change? Because we have people that will change the world for everybody, but they cannot accept or embrace change. So don't be afraid to pivot, adjust with strategies. Again, don't be afraid to pivot, adjust with strategies. It could very well be that strategies help you, or it help you to maneuver or to stand within the last 6 months to a year or 2 to 3 years. But as of right now, will that strategy be a tool? Will that strategy help you to strive, thrive? Will that strategy help you to be able to obtain another six, for the next 6 months to a year, another six-figure income? Assess your strategies. Don't be afraid to pivot. Be flexible and be agile. And also in your response, be mindful of your response, okay? And also be willing to collaborate. If you don't have that service, be able to collaborate with one that offers that service. Also, it'll also help you to recognize the value as you collaborate. Not only would it allow you to recognize the value as you collaborate, but also help you to recognize cross-functional teams. Cross-functional teams. That's where you become global. That's where you become international. That will help you expand your business. In your mind, it'll take you 3 to 5 years to become international. But by one mere contact, by collaboration effort, working with individuals, diverse individuals overseas, you could become international or global overnight. What you thought would take 5 years, you could become global, international overnight. Recognize the value of collaboration. Recognize the value of collaboration. It'll also help you, again, cross functional team, cross functional, diverse team. What you don't have, someone else has it. Okay, and being mindful of the time. I'm down to two more. Experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to stretch your skill set. Don't be afraid to understand and or learn innovation by creating yet maybe a possible create a safe space, but also create a space that you could take leaps. You could experiment. You could stretch your muscle. Create a space that sometimes it will irritate the heck out of you just to test your stress levels, okay? To see if your business or what you're building or establishing could would hold the pressure of not only the environment, will hold the pressure or the stress of what's happening from day to day, okay? And then be also able to, as innovative leaders, to prioritize, understand your pain points. As of right now, I'm prioritizing and reprioritizing based on the need, based on the need, based on the need of service. So be able to prioritize, be able to reprioritize your pain points. So they might be strong when I said strong points, and they might be when I said not so weak points. But what's driving now, what's driving innovation, you might have to shift overnight. You might have to shift in moments or minutes. Can you handle that? Are you able to shift? Okay. Um, when I said, and how would you be able to shift? Will you be able to prioritize it? if your everything is, it might seem like it's being chaotic or turned upside down, will you be able to shift at moment's notice? And are you an inspirational leader? Are you an inspirational leader? An inspirational leader leads by example, inspiring great minds, great geniuses with passion, enthusiasm, commitment, by also by your organization's mission, your statement. You energize other. You create places and spaces of a sense of purpose, fostering innovative or innovation, creativity. Are you one that leads by inspiration? Are you that leader that's burnt out? You've been doing this for years and you're burnt out. You don't have the energy. Right now, you're just operating off of mere fumes. You're burnt out. You've been helping everybody else. And what about me? Where am I at? Where you don't even know where you're at in the phase of your business, or when I'm talking about the vision. And at this moment, especially in this time, I keep seeing businesses relaunch. When it doesn't work, I'm relaunching. When it doesn't work, and I'm like, why do you keep relaunching? Well, it don't work. Well, how about you change your strategy? And they think relaunching and changing the name will give them a different outcome. They're not wanting to work the process. They're not wanting to work the tools. They're thinking if I relaunch and relaunch, change the brand, that's going to work. They're not putting the work into it. When I'm saying that there is a process, there's a process to it. You have to work it. You have to work it to see the results. Some don't want to work the process to see the results. They don't have time for the results. They don't have the patience for the results. So if they beta tested and within 2 to 3 weeks, oh, it's not working. In reality, they didn't give it the consistency. They didn't give it the time. They didn't invest the time. So it didn't work within the time frame, which is about 3 to 6 months. So now they're going to shut it down and now revamp, rebrand, and re-strategize, oh, by way of relaunching. Does that sound like you? And now I'm speaking, as I'm coming to a close, I'm speaking to the heart of leaders or innovative leaders. Be able to shift, be able to pivot. They are changing, there are changes coming. And it could very well be you have invested 5 to 10 years of your time and you've been struggling. At this point, you went from building to hustling, because at this point, you're trying to pay a light bill, you're trying to pay this bill. I don't know who I'm speaking to, and you're just trying to make it. And could it be that because you're now, your your standpoint, you went from the vision or purpose driven to now hustling. You forgot about the purpose as to why you are called to build or establish that coaching business, that business, that school. Can I tap in yet to your purpose? Can I tap into your destiny? And although we have parallel life coaching segments or buildings, or when I said building or model, I'm going to call it that model. Could it very well be that it's only your voice that amplifies, that will literally make one whole, change yet their mindset, break yet every chain, cause one to now change their thinking by transformation, and now they're whole again? And could it very well be that the very thing that you're ready to give up is the very thing that has been keeping you, sustaining you, maintaining you? And now, because you're being reconnected, a lot of you are disconnected from your vision because you're tired, you're burnt out. You just like, oh, I don't want to do this. Again, you have the passion and the drive for everybody else. But by the time it gets to yours, you could very well be working a 9 to 5, 3 to 11, and working these 14, 12, 14, 16-hour shifts. And you really don't have the time or the energy to put into your own vision. But can I tell you that if you find the time to invest, and don't forget, investment has phases. Investment in you, the value of you will be paid off. And could it very well be that the timeline that you have put on your vision, and the vision has its own timeline. I'm gonna say it again. The timeline that you have given your vision, the vision have its own timeline. Why? I remember about a year ago, I was looking at the vision that God had given me pertaining to something I was getting ready to burst forth in regards to a business. And when I went back to tap into the vision, I tapped into the vision from the seed form, which means by thought. Okay, thought download, brain hacking. And I went back and reached back into timelines to that notebook to get my vision, the mission, the scope of it, the ideas of it, to bring it alive. And when I did that, it shook me. Why? Because what I thought I was tapping into the idea of the seed form, what I saw that it was full grown past adolescence and it was a full grown adult. Why? Because as I was going, growing, evolving, that's what was within me was going, growing, evolving, expanding. So in my conceptual thought, I thought I was tapping into a seed form. All this time, my vision has been growing, evolving with me, and it outgrew my conception. Could it very well be that the timeline that you're putting on your vision, it could take 5 years, 10 years, could very well be that it could take only 2 years, it could take 6 months to a year. I'm saying go back and look at the vision with fresh eyes, reassess your vision. Look at it with fresh eyes, reassess your vision, align it with the times now, check your strategy. Check your strategies. Will the strategy that you have implemented work? And it could very well be you're one that put your placed your vision or the dream on a shelf and it's been sitting there because in your mind I'll get back to that 3 6 months from now because I don't have the money. And could it be that that dream or vision, you leader, has been sitting on that shelf for almost 6 to 10 years? Huh. And now because you're in a better headspace, you're tapping back into that dream or the vision, and now you want to implement a strategy that's over 10 years old. Why? Because that's what you knew, that's what you carry. So now, again, assess based on your understanding and your wiring and your tutelage, which means your training, your education, your level now, your educational base, you're tapping into your vault, your educational base, and now tapping into with value and fresh eyes, precision. When you look at the vision, what phase or angle are you looking at the vision? You're now tapping into a vision or dream that you had on the shelf for 10 years. How will you build? Will you be aggressive? Will it be dedicated? What would be your approach? What would be your strategy? Okay. Will you create an environment that's conducive to it? How do you create an environment that's conducive to it? And how do you create an incubative chamber? For some, they have to get in the zone. They have to have music. They have, what is your zone? What is your zone of conversions? How do you tap into your zone? And when you tap into that zone, how will you handle that vision that has been waiting for you, that dream that has been waiting for you? And I had to learn that the dream that I've been chasing is now chasing me. The dream that I've been chasing is now chasing me. So I'm speaking to the innovative leaders, the leaders that leads differently, the leaders that are unique in their leading. Your model's altogether different. Your vision, your model will change. When I said people, by way of being an anchor in your community. So if you look at it that you're helping people in your community, it'll shift your thinking from hustle mode. And now I'm helping the people. You'll think impact. You'll think impact. How is your vision creating an impact? How is it affecting people? How is it impacting people? How is it changing their mindset? How is it positioning them closer to the reality of life? How is it positioning them to achieve a goal? As you leader, lead differently. Thank you, Dr. Jacqueline Harrison, for this awesome moment, this awesome session. And thank you so much for this platform as you are also impacting leaders who lead differently.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. That has really helped me a lot. And I feel like that's something that I needed to hear. And I know there's people out there that are listening to us right now or that will hear this at some point in the future that you will speak to their heart as well. So thank you again. Thank you for coming back to the stage. I know we've collaborated before, and collaboration is king. And I
Yes.
know I will be talking with you soon, next week,
Okay.
I hope.
Yes.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk
Okay.
to you soon. And thanks again, Dr. Lovella.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So we have one more keynote presentation from Dr. Carmela Nanton. I believe is how you pronounce her name. So stay tuned. Make sure get up and stretch just for a brief moment. Make sure you still got your pad and your pen. And because she's going to drop some more wisdom and nuggets in reference to leadership and how to be a more effective leader. I'm going to bring her in now. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to the stage. Oh, I have a lot of feedback in my microphone here. Welcome back to the stage, Dr. Carmela Nanton. I think it's how you pronounce your name. It's always a pleasure.
Can you hear me?
I'm always so excited with myself if I pronounce someone's name properly. So welcome back, and thank you for.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. It's a slight delay, but yes, I can hear you. So welcome back, and thank you for being a part of this virtual symposium. This one is titled Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within, acknowledging the innate leadership abilities within African American women. And I know you, oh boy, I'm trying to remember the name of your conference that you do. I think it's Hardwired to Lead. So,
that is correct.
Whenever I'm doing something regarding leadership, you were definitely one of the individuals that I always make sure that I get involved, because you always bring so much knowledge and wisdom and tips and techniques for women in business to be able to utilize to become a more effective leader. So I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to go backstage and I'm going to let you have it. So welcome again.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. So I will talk to you momentarily.
All righty. Well, hello, everyone. My name is, as you know, Dr. Carmela Nanton, and it is an honor for me to be on this platform with Dr. Jacqueline Kabar Harrison and the Leadership Symposium and the awesome time that I know you have had and that I will hope to finish with a challenge. But it is such a powerful place to be able to speak to the awakening of the leader within. I think that some of us are in spaces where our leader within has been dormant, itching and waiting and pushing to come out. Others of us have come out and feel like we've been pushed back and squashed in. And then others of us are looking to stir up that leader within. Because at the end of the day, I know Dr. Jacqueline mentioned the fact that I run a conference, Hardwired to Lead, but all of us have a hardwire to lead inside of us. It was inscripted and imprinted by our creator. And the question then becomes how we exercise that leadership. It'll be unique for everybody else, and how we will impact the world. So before I get very far, I just want to take just a couple of minutes to share a little bit for those of you who don't know who I am. I'm speaking to leaders, entrepreneurs, executives, anyone who is a team leader, director in their workplace. And we're going to talk a little bit about burnout or breakout, how to redefine success and navigate authenticity in the business world. Now, my background has been in a variety of sectors, but I've led in all of them. And I've held positions from staff member all the way up to board officer in a variety of companies. I've brought in millions of dollars for the companies that I have worked with by innovating programs that, as an entrepreneur, that brought in millions of dollars. I was excited to be following someone who's talking about innovative leadership, because at the end of the day, the cutting edge leader is a leader who can innovate and pivot as quickly and as being as agile as is necessary to be successful in this volatile environment. And so my background takes me across maybe 14 countries. I'm talking about an actual footprint, more than 100 cities, in teaching and developing leaders in the areas of international business, cross-cultural engagement, and so on. And the reality of the matter is that I have led experiential, in-person experiential classroom, I guess I could say. It is an opportunity for leaders to go to different countries, look at different companies, bring different solutions to them. I have done that in places as close as Canada and the Caribbean, and I've done it in places as far as Hong Kong and China, the Czech Republic, UK, and across the pond. The reality is that leadership has its challenges everywhere we go, and women experience leadership in a very different way. So today, as I engage the issue of burnout, it is one of the reasons that people's leadership light does not shine. And so I wanted to bring that to the table and provide you with some strategies to help you to get to that place and stay in the place where your leadership shines. And so questions I have for you: have you ever felt like you had to choose between your sanity and success? Have you ever been told, or do you ever think that you're burning your candle on both ends? I know primarily when we're talking to entrepreneurs that can be a very real situation, right? And so when we talk about burnout, the reality of the matter is it is a chronic, stress-related, work-related experience that people have. It looks different than other things and other illnesses. It can show up in different ways, right? So it can show up as somebody always having colds, somebody having chronic headaches, and so on. So they go to their primary care physician when the problem is the burnout in the workplace, right? They may go to a therapist for depression and find out that maybe that work-related stress that they cannot get rid of is causing that challenge. And so when we talk about burnout, we're talking about high levels of stress because of heavy workloads that are consistent, long hours, lack of control over what you do, so no autonomy in the job, and then you have not enough resources, not enough assistance to make your work something that is a positive experience for you. You can be burnt out because you have a lack of work-life balance. So you focus so much on the job that we drop and ignore the family and the close relationships and the friends, and we don't want to do stuff anymore because we are up so tired, right? And it can hold frustration. It can hold resentment. It can generate insomnia. So you may be laying awake at night wondering what you need to do because you feel so powerless. And when we talk about the causes of burnout, the consequences for us as individuals is one thing, but there are consequences for companies as well. But before I get there, it isn't just about the overwork, right? It isn't just about working 80 hours a week, even though that could cause you to operate on fumes. It can cause you to lead people from an empty cup as opposed to the overflow. But it also can be the work environment, which can be helping you develop a toxic resilience because the workplace that you work in is one that is a toxic and hostile work environment, and you have to go in every day because, hey, you got to make the money. You have a family to support. It can also be being the only one. I've been in that position, and it carries a lot of emotional weight as well because you have to always be on. And, you kind of temper how you express yourself for fear of people's judgment. It also can be imposter syndrome. So the gaslighting that happens that tells you you don't know what you know, and you can't do what you're doing. And it just kind of messes with your mind and creates imposter syndrome. And then in addition to that, it can be the microaggressions. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about this. I'm just going to present those as other causes of burnout, because microaggressions, I call them death by 1,000 cuts, which means that people chip away at you and your identity and the way you think about yourself and the way you understand yourself. And they do it so relentlessly that you then begin to appropriate it and shift who you are, step away from your purpose, step away from the vision that you may have had. And you get to a place where you're unhappy with yourself as well as the work. You become disengaged, you become disillusioned, and guess what happens? The workplace suffers. It's up to $190+ billion that it costs companies and the healthcare system when people suffer burnout. And so they say more than half of us suffer burnout. So you're not alone. And you know what? Leaders and top ranked officials burn out at a rate of 96%. So it means leaders are not immune. They probably are the highest targets, but it means that they are either letting it trickle down to their people, or they're not listening to the people, so that burnout will be shifted. And that's where I am today and what I'm calling for us to do. I call it a silent epidemic because leaders in the top, more than 60% of them talk about being lonely at the top, which means that they feel isolated. They feel they don't have anyone that they can talk to. Entrepreneurs who run everything, wear all the hats, are prime candidates for that kind of thing. Or experience. Women experience burnout more than men because of the socioeconomic inequities. Young adults burn out more or report burnout more than older adults because of socioeconomic stressors. Things are not the same as it used to be. And coming out of COVID, we're still struggling with the backlash of that in the economy, in our work environment, and so on. And there are professions that we may be in or working in that are in the front of burnout in terms of cornering the market, right? That I'm talking about physicians, I'm talking about nurses, I'm talking about social workers, I'm talking about teachers and lawyers and policemen and officers and fast food, front line, retail people. These are all people that suffer from burnout because of the job that they have. How do you know you may be suffering from burnout? You may be feeling exhaustion. You may be feeling not up to performing. Your productivity has slipped. You may be feeling emotionally detached because you feel if you can pull back from all that you're doing, then you will begin to understand that as a person, maybe I will feel better emotionally. Some of us medicate the irritation and the frustration and the negativity. We can do it with food, we can do it with substance abuse, we can do it with a variety of things that help us to push it aside and not deal with it. And today I'm calling us to deal with it. I talked about the physical symptoms that may take us to the primary care doctor when we need to be going to the workplace EAP and really dealing with the individuals who work in HR. But we may not have the personal power yet in place to make that happen. And so at the end of the day, it is complex. And when you add the cost of lack of productivity, no profits in the workplace, and you add that to the healthcare and the absenteeism and the attrition that comes in, we're talking about an economic cost for burnout that is over $300 billion. And this is borne out by research. And so I wanted to share that with you. Now, when we talk about burnout being so prevalent and pervasive, it is about thinking maybe that burnout is a hidden tax on your success and that you cannot have success without burning out. Now, I take exception to that because at the end of the day, I prefer not to burn out. I prefer to have the opportunity to work my work and work it in the best way that is possible. And some places, when we talk about burnout, we say, oh, it is so hard and so difficult to work here. And burnout becomes almost like a badge of honor, when in reality, it is not a badge of honor. It is not a weakness. It is a call to action that something is wrong, that we need to pay attention and we need to do something about it. And so the question is, what are some of the things that we can do at this point, right? And I throw a question at you. Do you believe that vulnerability is a strength or a weakness? Remember, I was just saying that burnout is not a weakness, right? It's a call to action. But many people consider it to be a weakness because only the strong survive, or this is a dog-eat-dog workplace culture. But what's a leader to do? So the leader can, first of all, recognize and acknowledge that burnout does exist and that it needs to be addressed. So acknowledge the feelings of the individuals who are sharing with you, wanting to talk with you about burnout. And the key with acknowledging it is creating a space that is safe and transparent, right? So you as the leader model this, and you need to listen actively. You need to have the patience and the consistency, not only to hear them, but to encourage the self-care that you know are necessary for them to function. Because many times, these are your top performers that are falling off in terms of what they're bringing in terms of productivity and so on. And if your business is to flourish, your people have to flourish too. The leader can promote and model healthy work-life balances. So we don't need to work 80-hour weeks. I know it's wonderful. I've done that. I've done the overtime push. I've done everything that I could in terms of making money, because the interesting thing about it is I was talking about the things that I did, but one of the personal things that I have multiple mental health licenses. I have a doctorate in organization leadership. I have licenses in ministry, and I am someone who also is board certified at the coaching level as well. So the reality of the matter is I have done a lot of things that my achievement list can be considered to be long, but I also, by the way, have chasing 36 years, married to the same wonderful man, 3 children, including a set of twins. And so you can begin to see why I talk about burnout from an expert's perspective. The reality of the matter is we have to be honest about things, and we also have to push at the same time. So it's like a balance. We have to challenge people to reflect on what is going on in their lives and what it is that they can do to make it a better experience for them in the workplace. We have to encourage boundary setting, right? Because the issue with burnout is because we have allowed the workplace and its needs to consume our personal lives. And that is true for entrepreneurs as well. I'm one. I know that is something that I am challenged with on a daily basis almost, where I have to literally try to stop myself from doing stuff because the list is so long in terms of getting stuff done. And so when we consider that is a challenge, the boundary setting becomes crucially important. We cannot necessarily balance everything equally, nor do we want to, but we do want to prioritize things in little pockets that are manageable, because multitasking knocks down your quality of productivity, and because when as an individual you begin to incorporate self-care and monitoring what is happening with yourself, you are also taking care of business. Because if you're an entrepreneur, you're the face of the business. And if you are someone who does not take care of themselves as an entrepreneur, you're not taking care of your business either. And I'll let that sink for a minute, right? Leaders also can encourage people who are feeling burnout to learn new skills, send them on leadership development experiences, give them opportunity to grow in a different direction so that the energy that would have been negative is now transferred to something that is positive, that they can bring in the new energy and the new innovation that the previous speaker was talking about as well. And then encourage mentorship. Let people who have been there, done that, made it, talk about being there and what was necessary and so on. So how do we lead, right? I talked about in the title, authenticity. And it means that the leader in their priority focus is not only to get stuff done, to get the profit numbers up, to make sure productivity exceeds that of their competitors, but it is about also building trust and collaboration and transparency and respect into their teams. And what that does is it tamps down on the fears and it helps better decision making, and it also assists people in making sure that the work that they are doing is collaborative and they don't have to handle it all on their own. We've got to learn how to delegate, right? For individuals who are controllers or who are people who like to be perfectionists, they will want to control everything, hold on to everything, get everything done by themselves. But perfection is a myth, and people who get stuck in perfectionism are sabotaging themselves more often than not by its cousin, procrastination. And so promote open communication, be respectful of people, and encourage them to continue learning and improving. So even if a mistake is made, it is then shifted into something that everybody else can learn from. And it boosts team collaboration. When the leader is open and honest about their failures, some of the challenges that they have, they give their teams, the people who follow them, the people who look up to them, permission to admit that as well, get it off their chest, not have it sitting on their minds, and they're able to give top of the line productivity to the workplace. But I also have a different way of looking at embracing the pressure, right? I like to watch tennis, and one of the things that they had, go Coco, one of the things that they had on their display, because they were celebrating 50 years of fighting for the equity of women in terms of their salary and their income. You talk about burnout, is when you find out that you've been doing the same work or more work than somebody else has, and you're getting less paid than they are, right? That is the resentment that the former CEO of Yahoo talks about, that feeds, fuels burnout. But the point that I'm trying to make is this: pressure is necessary, and they say that. That statement was, pressure is a privilege. And I said, wow, that is exactly what I had in mind when I talk about embracing the pressure to find your purpose, to find your passion, to find and increase your presence, and to reclaim your power. It is about embracing the pressure and not pushing it away, right? I give you 4 quick examples and you'll understand what I mean by that. If you consider that perfume is the outcome of roses that have been under pressure, if you consider that olive oil is the outcome of olives that have been under pressure, you begin to understand that the purpose and the essence of the perfume is the reason for the roses being under pressure. and that olive oil being in every single restaurant and probably every single country in the world, it helps you to understand that sometimes the outcome of the pressure is to get you to become who you need to become so that your global presence will be important. And then there is the pressure of the larva coming out of the cocoon and transforming into the butterfly. It is a pressure that is necessary, because if we get sorry for the caterpillar that is trying to come out, and we cut the cocoon to help them out, we destroy their ability to grow strong wings that become the beauty that we are looking at. And so we have to be careful in terms of how we as mentors and leaders manage the people below us who are the ones that are coming up under us and we want to put into leadership positions. But we should not try to abort them by pushing them in places where they are not quite yet developed, or rushing them to the point where we actually abort them from burnout, right? And then the last example I bring to you is the pressure of thousands of years that crushes stones and rocks until they become crystals. Now, the interesting thing about this crystal is that it is the diamond that we all often just, flippantly say, diamonds are a girl's best friends. But notice where that diamond has been in order to become your best friend. And the reality of the matter is, once that diamond has been created, the clarity of it, the cut of it, the color of it, and the carat or the weight of it is so valuable that people spend from thousands to millions of dollars to get diamonds because of their worth. So consider that if you are able, with the self-care things that we're going to talk about, the different things that a company can do, if you can manage to embrace the pressure, you are looking at a fantastic outcome that you will become, so that you will embrace and approach and speak into the world from your vision in terms of clarity. Your cut will be clear. The color will be without impurities, and your value and your weight will be priceless. So it will require a mindset shift, right? But if we shift our mindset, we then affect the actions that we take, and in turn, the outcomes that we are seeking. And so perfect leadership, I believe, is not an achievable ideal. It is something that we grow into by levels. So you have made this goal, you celebrate it, and you move to the next level for other goals that you set. If you are out of alignment with your vision, get back in alignment with your vision, because that is what is tied to your satisfaction and fulfillment. Perfection is a dangerous illusion for two reasons. One, we can't attain it. And in illusions, we find out that when we get to the end of the mirage, all we may be finding is sand. And people who are in burnout have gotten to the place of finding out it's sand and eating the sand. So at the end of the day, we have to understand leadership in its power, that can be helpful and impactful and influential across the globe. But we may have to embrace some of the pressure. Now, how do you do that, right? Companies can create supportive environments. I already talked about the leader and what the leader has to create for their followers. But companies can create a supportive environment. They can provide mental health resources. They can balance results with well-being. So, and the key to this is the redefining of success. Success is one-dimensional when we only look at profit, productivity, product, and price, right? When we look at those things, it's one-dimensional. And companies and leaders have pushed themselves and their teams in that direction. But I invite you to make and redefine success as something that is multi-dimensional, which means that we just include ourselves in the metrics of success. Our well-being now must be on the agenda. The value and the quality of our relationships need to be on the agenda. Our family needs to be on the agenda, and we can get a healthy work-life strategic harmony and priority if we cannot get to balance. We've also got to consider expectations of constant availability. There is this thing where even Superman and Superwoman had to go away to their cave, right? To regain and recharge their power. Cars need to be recharged if they're electric. You need to refuel with gas if you are running on gas. If your car is supposed to be going, you have to refill the bank account if you want to draw from the bank account. And so as leaders, we have to also help our people with that. We have to monitor absenteeism, turnover, attrition trends. We have to monitor healthcare benefit costs. We have to monitor employee satisfaction and morale. We have to monitor the company reputation. What are the people saying online about you as a company? About your burnout and your productivity and your high turnover. You can make a difference if you so choose. Make success multidimensional so it can become sustainable. And then values alignment with personal fulfillment. Many people leave the workplace because their values, core values, what you really believe and are non-negotiable for you is in conflict with the values of the organization. And they may be asking you to make unethical decisions on a daily basis or more frequently than you're comfortable with. And the more unethical the decisions you make, the further and further away from your core values you usually go. So the reality here is that we have to always reevaluate, re-examine what is happening with our values and whether it continues to be in alignment with our vision so that we can be personally fulfilled as individuals in the workplace. And so as I wrap this up, we've got to recognize burnout, foster a supportive environment for individuals. When people start talking about, when you hear chatter from your teams about burnout and feeling depressed and not feeling productive, you need to perk up the ears because something is going on. It's a distress signal. It is a call to action. If you foster, as I had indicated earlier on, what the leader can do, if you create an open and safe environment, you shape the culture, you shift the culture of your organization to something that is collaborative, where people have the mental health resources that they need. And at the end of the day, they will take less mental health days. They will have opportunity to take stress management workshops and encourage leaders to take those or share those resources without stigma and penalty. And also redefine success, as I had indicated, into something that is multidimensional and take the sole focus away from productivity and profits and balance happiness and fulfillment as part of what is to be part of what the experience at the workplace is. And they say happy employees are productive at 12% more than those who are not. So, as I wrap this up, behind every successful leader is a story of challenges that they have faced, failures that they have endured, lessons that they have learned. And leaders should not be afraid of sharing their journey. It is so crucial that I challenge you as leaders of our time to recognize that the pursuit of perfection is a myth, but we can most certainly move towards excellence at all levels. So leveling up with continuous improvement and ongoing learning is going to be something that must become part of what you do on a daily, weekly basis, and integrate the productivity, the profits, the pricing with the person's vulnerability, their authenticity, acknowledging that it's okay to ask for help, that it is okay to say you don't know, that it's okay to admit that you're burnt out and that you're not okay. And so remember, your employees, your partners, your team, the people in the world that you influence all look up to you because you are hardwired to lead and you are leading people whether you believe you are or not. And so I challenge you to show up with authenticity. You will not only liberate yourself, but you will liberate the people who look up to you. You pave the way, if you will, and give permission for a culture of openness and empathy and genuine connection within your organization. And I just want to say thank you for taking this time to listen to me. And if you need help, I do provide coaching assistance for executives, entrepreneurs, cross-cultural engagement, and so on. And if you want to get in touch with me, if you will text the word LEAD, LEAD, to 66866, I have a free gift for you, and you have an opportunity to get on my community list as well. Or you can reach out to me at www.carmelconnections.com, and I look forward to connecting with you. Let's redefine success. Let us get rid of burnout and make sure that as individuals, burnout does not affect or impede your leadership journey. Thanks again.
Wow, very, very powerful. Very powerful. Thank you again, Dr. Nanton. I mean, I really appreciate you coming on the platform and delivering, all of these gems for us to be more effective leaders. And I like how you also mentioned towards the end that even if you don't think you're a leader,
That's it.
right? That you are. So let me just real quick, because I know we're getting ready to close out.
Mhm.
Um, why do you say that in particular?
Where do I say?
That in particular, even for those individuals that don't think that they're leaders, that they are. Why do you
Yeah.
think that's important to note?
It's important to note for the simple reason that I say from creation, God has put in us um, the mandate. He's inscripted it. I call it like a computer program that has been programmed for us to be fruitful and multiply. And I know he didn't need children only, to also to go out and take dominion. And he didn't just say it to men, he said it to men and women. So the leadership is ingrained in us. Now, I know society has a different idea of what women should be doing and whether they should be leading or not, which is why I wrote The Hardwired to Lead. I just showcase all of the ways that they try to stop women from leading. But if women are anything like me, and I know there's a whole lot of people like me out there, they will lead even though they tell you you can't lead. They will move forward and do things because of the innovation intensity. The data says that women have increased innovation intensity when they have opportunities. So their companies or the companies that they work for have greater innovative intensity. So we are creative by nature, and that creativity also gives us influence. We influence from the cradle all the way up. I'm just saying, but that influence does not stay with children alone. There are people who listen to our wisdom. Countless people come and ask questions. That's influence. As you provide platforms for individuals, that what they say touches somebody. That is influence. That is leadership. And we may not recognize it, but we influence people every single day by how we live, what we say, what we do. And that's why I bring it to the table. I start out with the ones that we know, positional leaders, executives, CEOs, everybody in the C-suite, the entrepreneurs, the team leaders, the directors. Those are positional leadership positions. But there is personal leadership that not only positional people have, but regular people have it too. They're the community leaders. They are the people who become the go-to in a community. We used to talk about, there was always somebody, people would come to our house because they wanted advice from my parents. Then they were leaders in the community. They did not hold an office. And so it is the understanding that at any given moment, we have the blueprint for leadership in us. And I hope that what I have said today awakens the leader in them, pulls it out of them. The Bible says, stir up the gift that's in you. Leadership is a gift. It's a privilege. Stir it up. The world is waiting for you.
I like how you said, and we'll end with this.
Mm-hmm.
You said you are leading, and I'm trying to paraphrase.
That's okay. Mm-hmm.
We're all leaders.
Yes.
And people are, and we're leading by what we say,
Mm-hmm.
what we do.
That's
so
right.
even if you don't, you're not a, some people say, well, I'm not a leader, or which is why I kind of honed in on this, or one of the things that, recognize so many other things that you said, but just, that was what you kind of closed with.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that it's important for, us to acknowledge that just that leading by example, is so important, and just simply by what you do and what you say.
And more people are watching us than we know.
Yep, in that part, as they say. Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you again, and this concludes our symposium for today. So if you have joined us live, well, those that have joined us live, as well as those that are going to watch us at some point in the future.
Yes.
And for those that have tuned in all of these years, I really appreciate you and your support for the symposium. Thank you to all of the presenters, all the workshop facilitators, those that provided physical activity. We had a couple of hustle classes and singers and spoken word artists. Thank you so much for your participation. And Dr. Carmela, it's been a pleasure again. Like I said, whenever I do anything in reference to leadership, you're always there on my radar, and I appreciate you, coming through and educating us.
Yes.
And just thank you again so much.
It's been my pleasure. Yes.
Thank you. So until next time, I know we'll be talking again soon. Something
Yes, we will.
right is always
my conference is coming, right?
right. Oh yeah, right.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
But it's all good. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you again.
You're welcome.
And until next time.
All righty.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that concludes it, everyone. That is the end of this particular symposium, okay. All right, so let me take this part off of the screen because it looks really just a little, I'm my own engineer and everything, so I'm kind of behind the scenes doing everything. So, okay. So thank you again for those of you that have supported my symposiums over the years. So much appreciated. I don't take it for granted. Again, I'm your host, Dr. Jacqueline Kaba Harrison, your host for Eight Queens Roundtable Leadership Symposium. This particular one, the one that we do in September, is the Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within, which is acknowledging the innate leadership abilities in African American women. Again, this particular theme started with a book anthology, and the book was titled Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. We actually launched it last September, so September of 2022. So this has really grown into a movement out of this one particular book that we did. So it was myself as the visionary author and several other co-authors that participated in it. And if you have not gotten that book, make sure you get your copy. Go to barnesandnoble.com and or amazon.com and grab your copy of the book. Again, it is it's primarily for women in business. Okay, so if you are a woman and you are in business, you have your own business or businesses, this is an excellent read to help you basically tune in, tap in. If you haven't already, tap into your innate leadership abilities, and not only be able to just tap in, but to be able to fine tune them, be able to nurture them, and just watch them grow so that you can grow into being an extremely effective, impactful, influential leader. Okay, not saying you're not already leading well. However, I'm a firm believer that there's always room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. And a smart leader knows the areas that they're very strong in and the areas that they need work on, right? Because sometimes those areas that we need work on can, have a negative impact on the overall effectiveness of how we run our business and basically how we show up. So I'm a firm believer in, learning and growing. If you're not learning, you're not growing, so I'm always in a constant state of learning. And, that's my philosophy, which is one of the reasons why I do these symposiums, is to be able to provide the personal, professional, and leadership development for Black women in business, to help them basically scale their businesses and to help them show up as the best version of themselves. All right, so thank you again. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on everything that's happening, all of the upcoming events, because I have some upcoming events that I'm really excited about, and I'm sure you're going to want to be a part of them. Also, the Eight Queens Roundtable show and podcast is every Sunday at 3 p.m. with the exception of, like, for example, today I'm doing the symposium, or if it's a holiday. But other than that, we're here rocking it out at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. I am looking for guests for the show. If you are interested in expanding your reach, increasing your visibility, your brand awareness, you have a new product and a service, a book, a mastermind, an event that you'd love to talk about and get some more eyes on that particular service, increasing the awareness of it, the Eight Queens Roundtable show and podcast is an excellent opportunity to do that, as well as to show up as the expert that you are in your area of expertise, right? So we also give you an opportunity to be able to talk about what you bring to the table and how you serve, right? How you serve and who you serve. So it's an opportunity to spotlight you. I am also looking for advertisers people that want to advertise on the show. There are packages that come along with that. So again, if you have an event, maybe a book, or whatever you have coming up, and you want to advertise it, let me know, and I can talk to you about how to go about doing that and how to get some advertisement slots on the A Queens Roundtable show and podcast. Also, considering that I'm the executive channel producer for the A Queens Roundtable channel on the Women Win Network, if you are interested in increasing your brand awareness and your visibility, I also have opportunities for you to host your own show on the A Queens Roundtable channel, which is on the Women Win television network, which streams on Roku and Amazon Fire TV, allowing access to a minimum of 100 million homes across the globe. Okay, so again, increased brand awareness. So if you want to be a guest on the show, if you want to advertise on the show, or if you want to do both, let me know. There are opportunities to do that, as well as opportunities to be a show host and what that means. And we can talk more, about this in particular, with what your situation is and what you're looking for. But to actually host your own show, be able to host your own show, from beginning to end on the A Queens Roundtable channel on the Women Win Network. So there's opportunities for that as well. And let's see, am I missing anything? Last but not least, I am launching a new anthology, still in the process of onboarding offers. It's been a little bit of a hiccup in it, but it's delayed, not denied. And that is the Women of Color United. My Health is My Wealth, a complete guide for practicing effective self-care for women entrepreneurs. So if that's something you're interested in, if that title hits you, right, then, let me know. We can also talk about that as well. But thank you all again so much for joining us. Please share this out. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So much appreciated. Leave any questions or comments that you may have as well. And until next time, so everyone, take care, and it's been a pleasure.